There have been rumors for quite some time that Google was planning on entering the AAA video game market, and it seems like that time might be pretty soon, as Google announced today Project Stream, which is a streaming service that allows you to play AAA games in your Google Chrome browser on your PC without the use or the need of a video game console. And this got me thinking, man, if something like this takes off, this could really disrupt the market. And should PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo be very afraid about Google entering the market and trying to disrupt it in this way? Pretty interesting stuff, and we're going to talk about it right now. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, Man with a Million, back again with another video. And as you can see here, I have a video from Google of Assassin's Creed Odyssey being played and streamed at 1080p 60 frames per second, and it looks pretty good. But honestly, when I first heard about this, I thought to myself, this potentially could be a game changer, right? So what exactly is Google's Project Stream? Well, it's a service that you need a PC for, and all you need is Google Chrome, and presumably you'll be able to stream AAA games just using that. Now, of course, you'll probably end up having to either subscribe or buy the game. In this case, they're just testing out Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so people that sign up and test for the service can, see all the different, test out the things and see what works right and what doesn't work right and what needs to be improved. But the long-term implications of this are massive, because if Google can somehow get this working correctly, and considering they're looking for people with over 25 megabytes down per second, which isn't that big. I mean, that you're talking about a large group of people with internet over that capability. You're essentially letting people play AAA games without the use or the need of a console, which is always one of the biggest obstacles to getting people into gaming. Yeah, some people might want to play, Fortnite or Call of Duty, but they need to drop $400 on a system or $300 on a system, and they don't do so. But what if you just needed your PC, something that most people have, definitely in more quantities than a video game console, and all you needed was Google Chrome, and you buy what you want, and you stream it, and if it works, especially in a single-player game, maybe not so much for a multiplayer game, and if it works, could that potentially be a huge deal breaker, or a huge thorn in the side, so to speak, to Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, whose businesses are based off the idea of selling third-party multi-platform games to their own consumers? If someone has the option of playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Red Dead Redemption 2 and a slew of other third-party multi-platform games on a web browser that works perfectly fine, and you don't need to put down the money to buy the console, will that hurt their business? It's really something to think about. And this is what Google had to say about their official announcement for Project Stream today. They said, "The technology and creativity behind these AAA video games is extraordinary. From incredible detail and lifelike movement of the character's skin, clothing, and hair, to the massive scale of the world in which the game unfolds, down to every last blade of grass. Every pixel is powered by an array of real-time rendering technology, artistry, visual effects, animation, simulation, physics, and dynamics. We're inspired by the game creators who spend years crafting these amazing worlds, adventures, and experiences, and we're building technology that we hope will support and empower that creativity." And to kickstart Project Stream, Google's looking for people in the United States, of course, to test drive the service with the opportunity to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey for free, starting on October 5th, going through mid-January. And all you need is an internet connection of 25 megabytes per second or higher, a desktop or laptop, with Google Chrome, a Ubisoft account, and a Google account. Man. And we already know that Microsoft is looking at this. They're looking over their shoulder at Google. We've heard the rumors that the next-gen Xbox, dubbed Project Scarlett, is not only a traditional console in the way like the Xbox One X or Xbox One S is, but also a secondary console that is a streaming device, something that can be extremely cheap and for those that want to stream their games. It opens up a wider market, especially in the beginning of a gen when normally the consoles are at their most expensive, keeping people out. Well, what if you actually had a way to access those games really cheap? So we know that Microsoft has been eyeing the streaming technology for quite some time, and even Sony has as well. They bought Gaikai back in the day. They turned that into PlayStation Now, which has been a streaming service. They recently added downloads to the service. I would assume as well, if Sony's doing their due diligence, as any business should, that they've looked into streaming as well to getting more PlayStation games into the hands of people that maybe don't own a PlayStation. Because you think about it, the console gaming business, it has a limit of how many people actually buy the consoles. If you look back at the highest selling systems, there's a upper limit. There's a pool of people that will buy it, but that's it. And for PlayStation, it's right about 150 million, as well as the PlayStation 4 is currently approaching 90 million sold. It's probably not going to overtake PlayStation 2's 150 million. And even if it does, it's not going to get up to 200 million. There's an upper limit on how many people actually want to spend money on a console. Same thing that Xbox faces and the same thing that Nintendo's faces. There's a limit. But with the rise of phones, like iPhones and, Androids, with the proliferation of PCs, there are millions and millions of people, an untapped market, so to speak, for these gaming companies to go after. And trust me, they're looking at those customers. Microsoft has officially talked about reaching 2 billion gamers. And, if you say there's 150 million to 200 million console gamers, well, those other 2 billion are off in the mobile market and the PC market. But you need the technology and you need the hardware cheap enough to reach those people. And Google, since we've heard the rumors for a while, they're doing this Project Stream. They're also talking about a Project Yeti, which is supposedly their games console. They want in on the market. They know there's people there to get. And the interesting thing is, you enter the market and let's just say the reason to get a PlayStation, so to speak, and this is what the hardcore gamers will tell you. The reason people buy PlayStations over Xboxes or Nintendos is the exclusive content, the Uncharted's, the God of War's, the Last of Us, right? And those hardcore fans then go brag about it on Twitter. Like, this is the reason to get the system. They don't talk about the third-party content, which is actually the driver of console sales. But to them, it's the exclusive games. And if you want to play Mario or Zelda or whatever, you need to get a Nintendo, right? And then, of course, they'll sell you third-party games as well. Xbox, you want to play Halo, you want to play Gears, you want to play Forza, yeah, you can buy an Xbox or you can get it on Windows 10, right? But here comes Google. They don't have any game studios, at least none that we know of. They haven't gone out and bought any. So the appeal of exclusive content, of like, I need to get the Google Project Stream or Google Yeti, it's not there because they don't really have any games of their own. So what is their play? Well, their play would be something incredibly cheap that allows you to play those big third-party AAA games on a device that you already own as cheap as possible. That's the play. That's the disruption. Imagine being able to just, you know what? I can play all next-gen games. I can play the Cyberpunks and the Grand Theft Auto 5s and the Call of Duties and the Red Deads, and every single third-party game partners up with Google for Project Stream. And all you need is your PC. And yeah, maybe it costs $50 to buy the game, but you don't need to spend $400 or $500 or $600 on a console. You don't need to spend $2,000 on a gaming PC to run that stuff at 4K, ultra 60 frames or 100 frames. You have it streamed 1080p 60 here. Sure, if your internet, that would be obviously a downfall. If you have bad internet, you wouldn't be able to do that, or if you had data caps and stuff, but they're obviously assuming that internet gets better over the course of time. But you know what? I think Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo should be worried about this, because it will eat into their sales of third-party games, where they make their money. They make their money on the software side. If more people choose to do and go with Project Stream and Project Yeti, that's money out of Microsoft's wallet, that's money out of Sony's wallet, and that's money on Nintendo's wallet. So of course they're rightful to be afraid. Anything that has the potential to disrupt the video game industry like this should basically put the fear of God into these companies. And we know Microsoft is already thinking about combating it with Project Scarlett streaming. We don't know much about what the PlayStation's plans are for PS5. Maybe they have a streaming solution planned as well. But clearly this is pretty huge, in my opinion. If it runs right, and it works right, and the pricing's right, being able to play these AAA games on something you already own, like your phone or your PC, is huge. And Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo should be worried about that. But anyways, guys, that is the video for right now. Let me know what you think about all this. Should the big three be worried about Google stepping into their territory and offering a solution to stream games without a console? Should they be concerned about that? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Share this out with a friend on social media like Twitter or Facebook. Hit the notification bell if you always want to be notified when I drop new content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.